This is the reason why dancers should train full body workout and the science behind it. Here's the thing, the reality is that most of us are only training 3 to 4 times per week, right? Which means that we have let's say 3, that's the normal. So let's say you have 3 times a week for training, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So instead of doing a classical bodybuilding split, because there is 2 ways of training, right? You can do split training, or you can do full body workouts, or you can do, obviously you can do push, pull legs. There's different ways of doing it, but what we're promoting here is definitely full body workout, and the science behind it are backing it up by itself, right? So what we're doing is that we're keeping the same volume, but we're just increasing the frequency, which means that, let's say for example, you're one of those guys who goes to the gym, and let's take upper body, or let's take chest for example. Yeah, today I have chest day. So let's say you're doing 15 sets of chest, just because. Let's say you're doing 15 sets of chest on one day. And then there you have 2 different signals. You have an anabolic signal, which is muscle protein synthesis, and then you have a recovery signal. And those 2 signals are going separately. So even if you're going super heavy on Monday, and you feel that you're sore in your chest or sore in your glutes or whatever the case may be, for the entire week, your muscle protein synthesis, what keeps you in an anabolic state, will start to drop. And when we're saying what keeps you in an anabolic state, that's the state you want to be in if you want to build muscles, right? If you want to cut, if you want to make sure that you are building the most amount of muscle, you want to stay in that state. And what science is showing now is that protein synthesis starts to drop. That signal, the signal of muscle building starts to drop around 48 hours. So instead of just hitting one muscle group to the depth of it, one day, I want you to frequently stimulate the same muscles. So again, it's really important that you guys understand that the muscle building, the protein synthesis and the recovery signal, those are 2 separate signals. They're not the same. So even if you're still feeling sore in your body, that doesn't mean that you're actively building muscles throughout that entire time. Again, it peaks after 48 hours and then it starts to drop after that. So high frequency, make sure to stimulate your body frequently, and that's why most of you guys who are watching this have been getting these crazy results from our 30-day body transformation, the dance specific training testimonials. I keep posting them on our stories. You see them in Instagram. You see them in Instagram and in our groups, right? And this is one of the main reasons, because not only will you get the muscle more and more stimulus, you will also do more effective reps and exercises. And that means that we are always focusing on compound exercises. Because what happens is that, let's say again, let's go back to the chest day, just for the sake of it. It's very easy to stay within the chest day, so to say. So let's say you're doing 15 sets on Monday, but those 15 sets won't all be quality sets, right? Let's say you're starting with your bench press, then you do dumbbell press, then you might be going to some cables, and then you're gonna end up with some push-ups in the end. And I'm all about progression and using and working in different stimulus and doing all types of different variation exercises for your muscles. But the truth of the matter is that if you want to build muscles faster and get good results and sustainable results, you as a dancer who doesn't have all the time on the planet to always go to the gym every day, day in and day out, we should focus on high frequency, doing full body workout, compound exercises. Because again, not only will you get the more quality reps out of it, you will also do more quality exercises. Because truth is that after an hour of focusing on training your chest and back, or just the chest, those repetitions won't have the same quality, right? Hope this is making sense. It should make total sense. In my head, it's making complete sense. And this is the reason why we're getting the results we're getting. Again, this is the reason why we're getting the results in the fat loss challenge, why so many of you are losing weight in top speed, why so many of you are losing or are building muscles in top speed, is because we are hiring the frequency. The challenge, for example, I keep going back to it, it works because we're doing something every day, every day, every day. And here's the thing. If you approach this like this, I don't want you to go to failure every day. I want you to go to performance failure, not repetition maximum failure. Repetition maximum failure means that you can't even, let's say now we switch to biceps curls because I don't want to hit the ground, right? But let's say we're doing biceps curls now. So you're doing biceps curls and you keep going, and now you're coming slow, so you keep throwing with your back, and then you keep throwing, and then you're so tired so you can barely move, but you keep throwing because you want another rep, and then bam! Not only are you increasing the risk of injury, you're also making sure that those reps are not sustainable. And what you're doing is that you are getting out of the central nerve system. So you're really like fatiguing your central nerve system, because you are going to as heavy as you can't move after that. And if you do that type of approach to your training all the time, you won't be able to recover. So instead, I want you to have a thinking that's called, or what we call performance failure. Performance failure means that you're doing everything in perfect performance, in perfect form. And when you can't do with perfect form, and you start to swing with your upper body or swing with your legs to get the power, that's when you stop. So 2 to 3 reps before repetition maximum failure. Big difference. All right, performance failure and repetition maximum failure. All right, 2 completely different ways of doing. So again, if we're increasing just as a fast summary, if we're increasing the frequency, the muscle protein synthesis will stay elevated all the time because we're training Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then most of us are going to festivals anyway, so maybe we can do some HIIT training on maybe Saturday or Sunday. But again, most of us will be out traveling, so we won't really have, all of us won't have access to the gym. And these 2 different signals, the recovery signal and the muscle protein synthesis signal, they are 2 different. So even if you're stiff, it doesn't mean that your body is still building muscles. And these will give you more effective reps, more effective exercises, because your body will not only stay in an anabolic state, you will also have the compound exercises. You're focusing on the dance-specific exercises, and that is what's going to work for you.